This course covers a lot of information, and you might not need all of the information covered within this course. So essentially I've designed it so that it covers a larger spectrum of students that may or may not be coming in having knowledge with certain coding languages, even such things as HTML. So I want to be able to accommodate every student, and even if you're familiar with it, some of the lessons might be a good review and it might be a good practice exercise to get even more familiar and confident with the different languages. So even when it comes to HTML, so one of my first major sections within the course is the foundations of building websites, where we cover off everything about HTML. So you can see here I've got a basic outline of the different lessons that are included within the HTML course, and it's going to cover off all the basics of HTML that you need to be able to understand in order to be able to build out the websites within the upcoming projects. And then the same thing with the HTML, I'm covering off CSS and all the fundamental core concepts of CSS and everything that you need to know in order to get familiar to be able to build out the upcoming projects that are going to be coming up in the later lessons. So, or if you need to know a little bit more about the CSS that we're using within those projects, then you can always refer back to the second section where we're covering off the CSS foundations of building websites. And you can see here that we've got everything covered, so fonts, classes, how to add background colors, positioning, and so on. And when it comes to JavaScript, so JavaScript is important to be able to add dynamic interaction and have that capability of producing something nice, interesting effects for users. So I've also included the full JavaScript spectrum of basics of foundation of learning JavaScript. So we can see here that we've got everything covered from variables, arrays. We also have how to do conditional statements, loops, and all of this is going to be essential if you want to be able to build out websites in the upcoming lessons. So if you're not familiar with any of the core foundation languages, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, I've got you covered with that as well within the course. So just go over to the section and go through the different lessons that you find that you wanted to go through in order to better understand the different coding that we're going to be applying in the upcoming lessons. So also I've included jQuery because jQuery is used within the web projects and it allows us to build out websites rapidly, and it's also for more modern website design. So jQuery gives us the ability to run JavaScript and really fine-tune it and isolate out what we want to do with our JavaScript. So again, for that interaction, jQuery is amazing to create interaction, listeners, event listeners, even AJAX calls. So these are very good resources and something that's great to have within your capabilities when you need it within your web projects. And also I've included Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is a front-end framework, and this is for modern website design. It also allows us to create responsive, mobile-friendly websites, and this is an essential part of web development, being able to produce those responsive, doesn't matter what size screen type applications that users can just come in and look at and interact with. Included within the course, there's the source code and how to build 10 different websites. So all these websites are going to be fully responsive. We're going to start out by introducing the website, talking about how we can set up the wireframe and actually creating the design of the website, and then adding in the HTML structure, and then updating the HTML, showing you the different source code, how to add in placeholders, and how to build out that HTML structure, preparing it and getting it ready to add in styling. Also, we're going to be going over how to build and create a nav bar, because navigation bars are ever so important within websites, and having a fully responsive navigation bar is an essential part of website building. So we're going to show you also how to design websites, multiple different styles of websites. There's single page websites, there's bootstrap websites, there's fully responsive websites, two-column websites. We've got a whole bunch of different options here of different styles of websites, and these are all modern websites that you see in use today throughout the internet. Some of the examples of the websites that we're going to be building out throughout this course, we can see over here, and you can see that they do resize. They're all responsive, and they have the ability to show up differently on different size screens. So I've got a few examples here of what the web page looks like. We see the navigation menu resizes, and also we've included jQuery as well into the course. And with jQuery, this gives us the ability to have these really nice, neat effects where we've got a scrolling effect. And as well, we're going to be working with Bootstrap, so bringing in Bootstrap and having some automatic Bootstrap styling with the navigation menu. Also building out different styles of websites. So here in this example, we can see that we've got a fat footer here, we've got multiple columns, and we can see when we resize the website, the columns will stack differently depending on the screen size. As well, over here there's another example of another website, and we see the different stacking orders of the different containers within the web page. So all of these websites, this is a 3-column website that you're going to be building in the upcoming lessons, and you can see again it does stack differently depending on what size of screen the user is coming in at. And we've also got ones where we've got these parallax sites where when you scroll you can see that the images move slightly differently, the background images as to the foreground images. We've also got ones where we've got the navigation bar at the bottom, so we've got a sticky footer, and you can see that jQuery is actually taking care of showing the active tab that the user is currently on, and as we scroll through the different sections of the website, active class actually updates on the navigation menu here at the bottom. And we've also got a different take on that as well, where we've got a carousel style website where we can click and we can see that in this style of website we've got navigation bar menu over here, and it's on a one-page website where we can really easily scroll through and see the different sections of this particular website. And the really amazing thing about it is we're going to be building all of these from scratch, starting with the blank page and building it out from scratch. And we're going to be walking you through how you too can start building out these types of websites through it step by step, providing you different options that you can have and that you can utilize as you're building out your own variations of these websites.